very blessed to have Aunty B among us today, and that is Kaz. I'm 80 this year, and why are we still having this discussion?
Kaz, I started to tear up then. I'd like to keep it personal. I'd like to share my story with you. I'd like to stay passionate because I am passionate about something as deep as what we're here for today. So I'll start off with introducing my parents. I'd like to keep it personal. I'd like to share my story with you. I'd like to stay passionate because I am passionate about something as deep as what we're here for today. So I'll start off with introducing my parents. I'm born to my parents, Elena Beatrice Ballangarry and Eric Hughes Ballangarry. I was born in Barraville. Now, at the time that I was born, back in 1943, of course, we were on the other side of 1967. And in that time, I can remember, I wasn't 4 yet, and I know I was more than 3. And I got very, very sick one evening. And in the evening, my mum and dad were aware that we can't be in town after 6 o'clock because there was a law for us to be. If we were in town after 6 o'clock, my parents would have been jailed. But then you have the other side of that. My parents were scared that they were losing their firstborn child and saying, we're going to the hospital, we have to go. Bubba girl, she's not good. He took me off my dad's shoulders and put me on his shoulders, ran to the door, onto the veranda, reminded that you can't be here. It's not right, you're not allowed to be here. And Mum, in her voice, and of course, over the years, once I became a teenager, I heard several versions of Mum and Dad's take on that evening. And Mum said to the staff member that came to the door, well, if you're not going to let us in and anything happens to my daughter, it's going to happen here on this front veranda because I'm not going to move. And if anything happens to her, it's on your shoulders because to me, it's about a basic human right. She just needs you people to help us get that pain out of her belly. And I mean, at that point, in my memory, I couldn't remember much after that, but I did hear the tone in Mum's voice. There was desperation there, you know, like I heard that tone. Dad was a bit nervous of Mum because Mum was staunch, her extended family. So, you know, because Mum's extended family, and Dad was saying, you know, we really cannot make waves in here. She shouldn't be over there at that state school, she should be over here at the convent school. And so they made it their business to take me, come and get me. And so they thought they were doing the right thing by taking me over to the convent school. But when I was taken to the convent school, I was given butcher's paper and crayons. When Mum came to pick me up in the afternoon, she was really, really nervous and upset. In matter of fact, she was teary. And that upsets me today to remember that. And so having that law or having a thing that says that we're no people or whatever, not classified as a human being, I guess. So we, all together, with the way that Mum was thinking, she was going to do it anyway, no matter who spoke to her about laws or policies or anything like that. Anyway, when she came to pick me and being upset I wasn't there, she was told I was over at the convent school. When she went over there, she got spoken to. So she got spoken to in a nasty way. What do you think you were doing? Sending your daughter to the state school. You know she's not allowed there, she should be here. So she got a dressing down for taking me to the state school. So there's two things there. There's no choice, and there was no consent. So all of these things, all over my years, listening of the recaps of my story from my parents has shaped my being, how I am today and how I prefer to live. And I prefer to live where I support basic human rights, where I support inclusion. Like, to me, thank you. I like fairness. I love fairness between people. We don't have to always agree on things, but about the humanity, about humane principles, I think that's really important for us not to get too far away from that. It wasn't finished. It should have been put in the Constitution way back then. This little thing here was minors having that part done. So to me, how I feel about that today is half a job was done back in 1967. If they say, yes, we count you, well then, the last half of that story is to just include it in this, because people are saying yes. See, I'm starting to get all upset here, ladies and gentlemen. I'd just like to say to you, we've got a question. And that's what a referendum is to me. A referendum is answer the question, folks. Just answer the question. You know, it's as simple as yes or no. Because in my belief, and I believe this with all my heart, that whether you say yes or no, the way that this works is not going to change too much. The way I see it, it's not going to change too much. All it's going to do is, and I think all it's going to do, the big thing it's going to do is it's going to officially or formally count our people. And that's what we need. We just need the other half of 1967. What we hear in the community, what I'm hearing in the community is all these things from people like Jacinta Price or people like Peter Dutton. The thing is, I call those distractions. Ladies and gentlemen, I call that distractions. So I believe if we don't be distracted, just answer the question. And there's only one question, yes or no. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
So, and are you with Mum and Dad? They're going to be here all day?
Catch him before he goes.
Well, if people ask you what today was about, do you know? You tell them. What does that mean? That's right. And if it's yes? Perfect. I'd love to hear that.
Naranga. So let's move forward with respect and let's have a ni. You say ni? Ni. Let's have a yes vote.
What's the word for no? What's the word for no?
You tell me.
I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, that's the whole.
All the corporations supporting all this.
So,
why have you got all the money? Where'd you get the money from? I know lots of Aboriginal people that think no. They haven't been consulted at all. Who's going to start going for abusing? Who's going to start abusing me because I believe in the free country?
so
Let's be civilised.
it's interesting. It's interesting this whole fear from the no camp that the world's going to cave in if a yes vote gets up. It's interesting. Take a look around.
Waru, Julum Gangading, Warungo Julum Gangading, Anawan Kumilaroi Wajana, Omaga Gumbangi Waja.
Aboriginal Torres Strait Islander people having a voice in Parliament. It's interesting that a gentleman would then try to take the voice away of our elders. Shame. In this. Very interesting. But it's important because that's part of the challenge. We've had to come up against that kind of fear. If we say Goram, Goram just means poor thing. He's scared. He's Wombi. Okay? And so that's what it comes down to. Again, ironic. And I think it's interesting for a lot of people who carry that fear to get caught up in that. Because I think if you know, if that had happened to you, that's exactly what you do. But that's not how we're wired. We're not wired like that as people. As Aunty B so beautifully said, that's not how we behave. We are custodians of this country. We belong to this country. We don't dominate it.